Holidaymakers recall desperate attempts to rescue family. Civil defence on standby as Gisborne's hit by more heavy rain, and deadly helicopter crash in Ukraine. Te Maria, I'm Cherie Kinnear, and these are the latest New Zealand Herald headlines. Holidaymakers have described their desperate efforts to save a family caught in rough surf at a Coromandel beach. One person died in the incident at Opateri Beach yesterday morning, and another is still missing despite extensive search efforts. A teenage boy is in a critical condition while 4 others sustained moderate and minor injuries. Kathy Lee Harver and Tony Brooks, a former surf lifesaver, were on the beach when they spotted a man being dragged out to sea. Lee Harver, who is a nurse, spent half an hour giving the victim CPR before paramedics arrived and confirmed his death. The pair say they confronted a woman on the beach who they understood was the dead man's wife and believe the group is a family. 8 people have been injured, 3 critically, in a serious car crash in Auckland's Papakura. Emergency services were called to a 2-car collision at the intersection of Ingham Street and Porchester Road about 10:40. The injured were taken to Auckland and Middlemore Hospital. A crash investigation is underway. Gisborne civil defence officials have been on standby overnight as the region has been battered by more heavy rain. Watches and warnings remain in effect until 9 a.m. this morning. Met Service has warned that up to 60 millimetres of rain could accumulate on top of what has already fallen, especially about the ranges, peaking at about 15 millimetres. A reminder that pilots are well trained to deal with engine failure. A Qantas flight from Auckland to Sydney landed safely yesterday evening after issuing a mayday call over the Tasman Sea. It's due to an issue with one of the engines on the aircraft, which had more than 100 people on board. Aviation commentator Irene King says pilots do a lot of practice in simulators for these types of events.
Engine shutdowns are not common, but they're not rare either. You think, well, you wouldn't want to be a passenger on this aircraft, but from an operational perspective, it's well drilled into them.
And 17 people, including Ukraine's interior minister and 4 children, have been killed after a helicopter crash near Kiev. The helicopter went down in fog, crashing into a nursery school, causing a large fire. Children and staff were in the nursery at the time of the crash. Officials say it's too early to know what caused the accident. And those are the latest New Zealand Herald headlines. For more stories and to stay up to date, head to nzherald.co.nz. Kia pai te rā. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. To stay up to date with all the latest news from the New Zealand Herald, click the subscribe button below or check out one of the videos here, and head over to nzherald.co.nz for more details on these stories and more.